Good morning. So I am in Lisbon now, but I am going to Porto today, which is famous for the production of port wine. And I love wine, so there was no question if I am coming to Portugal, I need to go there. So come with me. I am on the way to Porto, but I will stop in Sintra. This lovely little town was the home of the Portugal monarchs and kings, and the several mansions and castles hidden in the luscious hills are definitely worth visiting. If you do not have a car, you can go there by train or with an organized tour. There are several castles and palaces, like the National Palace of Pena, on the top of the mountain. You cannot miss its vibrant colors. On the opposite side of the hill, you will find a Moorish castle, which was built in the 10th century. But my favorite place was the Monsarrat Palace. If you want to see something special, you must visit and admire the fusion of Eastern and Arabian architectural styles. This fairy tale palace is full of surprises. You will find countless photo opportunities in the several beautiful gardens and a ruined chapel. I believe this luxurious villa is the most visually striking building in the city, inspired by Islamic architecture decorated with geometric patterns and detailed carvings. If you are walking in the hallway, you will feel like you are in the Middle East. You have to add Portugal to your bucket list, as it has something for every traveler. Amazing beaches, high mountains, delicious food and fascinating history. Come with me to Lisbon, the captivating capital, where you can follow in the footsteps of famous explorers who discovered the world. Or visit the beautiful coastline of southern Portugal, Algarve, and let me show you around in Faro, Albufeira and Lagos. After 3 hours of driving, we arrived in Porto, or Oporto, which is the second largest city in Portugal. Porto's historical heart is the Ribeira, which became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The promenade is packed with Portuguese tavern, and while you are enjoying the local cuisine, you can admire the other side of the river called Gaia, which houses the famous cellars of Porto. Even though the port wine itself is produced in the Douro Valley, the major brands age its ports in their cellars here. Portugal has 14 main wine-producing regions, and because Portugal's wine culture is developed in relative isolation, many grape varieties do not grow anywhere else in the world. The largest wine region, the Alentejo wine region, covers more than 30% of Portugal. But Douro Valley is one of the oldest wine regions in the world. You can reach the valley by cruise boats, which go regularly from Porto to the towns of Alto Douro, like Bezo da Régua. Probably port wine is the most famous wine of Portugal, but why it is so special? During the fermentation process, the yeast transforms the sugar in the grape juice into an alcoholic beverage. Port wine doesn't go through a complete fermentation. Instead, the fermentation is stopped when the ideal sugar level is reached. Winemakers add brandy to the wine, which kills the remaining yeast and leaves the residual sugar in the juice. For example, the alcohol content of a red wine usually falls between 12 and 15%, but port wine's alcohol content is much more higher. It's between 16 and 20%. Like most wines, port wines also needs time to develop. In Portugal, the law dictates that all ports must be aged for for minimum 2 years before release. You can learn more about the Portuguese wines in the cellars of Porto like Calam, Sandeman and Gun Cruise House. If you are a wine lover, the highlight of your trip will be the tasting session with food pairing. The two-level Dom Luís Bridge is a signature landmark in Porto. Originally, Gustave Eiffel presented a project to construct a new bridge over the Douro River. Yes, that Eiffel who created the Eiffel Tower in Paris. But there are several other buildings around the world marked with his name, like the Statue of Liberty in New York and the Western Railway Station in Budapest. Porto effortlessly combines history and culture, and you will find amazing sights at every corner. Wandering in the city center, you will find these two churches, Igreja do Carmo and Igreja dos Carmelitas. Between the two is the so-called Hidden House, which is Portugal's narrowest one, only 1 meter wide. According to the legend, it was built so that the two churches would not share a common wall. It separated the male monastery and the women's convent. Igreja do Carmo is overshadowing the other one with its stunning tiled exterior. In Portugal, decorated tiles cover everything from walls of churches to ordinary houses and train stations. But why? It was partially about the art and the aesthetics. It was also practical, because people realized that tiles on the outside could help to protect against damp and kept houses cooler in the summer. There are other amazing churches with stunning blue and white tiles in walking distance, like the Chapel of Souls and the church Santo Ildefonso. A few steps from here is the Livraria Lello. Rumor says that this bookstore inspired J.K. Rowling to create Hogwarts in the Harry Potter books. Now it is so crowded that you have to buy a ticket before visiting. I couldn't go inside, but here are some images I found about the so-called most beautiful bookshop in the world. And as I said, the bookstore is usually filled with people, and it looks like this in reality. Avenida dos Aliados is generally regarded as Porto's city center, where you will find the Porto Town Hall. Porto is on the side of the Atlantic Ocean and have many beaches easily accessible from the city with the public transport network, where you can get some tan, learn how to surf or swim. But be prepared, the water is really cold. Before I show you other parts of northern Portugal to see, I have a favor to ask. Please show me some love and press the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This way you won't miss any of my future videos. Thank you. And if you are new here, there is also a PDF version of my travel guide, which you can download from the link below with maps and useful tips. So you have a few extra days in Porto. What should you do in northern Portugal? Besides the boat trip to the Douro Valley, you can visit Braga, founded by Emperor Augustus during the Roman rule more than 2000 years ago. Here you will find the sanctuary of Bom Jesus do Monte, which is famous for its monumental Baroque stairway. If you want to hike, head to the Arouca Geopark, which is around 1 hour drive from Porto. It is the perfect place for adventure sports like rafting, kayaking, mountain biking or climbing. But there is a huge but. I thought it is a national park, but it isn't. It is a large area with several towns and villages. Its newest attraction is the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in the world, the Ponte Arouca. If you want to cross the bridge, you have to buy tickets in advance online, because there are no ticket office there. And don't worry if you cannot find it, it is hidden in the hills and there are no designated parking places. My journey in Portugal is not over. My next stop will be Algarve, famous for its stunning 200 kilometers coastline, water parks and resorts. See you soon.